Welcome to our Aurora Texture segment, where we try to find the buildings right here in the city of Aurora, the structures that have a story to tell. And boy, the one we have for you today won't stop talking. In this segment, we're going to introduce you not only to a cutting-edge architect that brought this building through 2 lives to make it the landmark that it is today here in downtown Aurora, but we're also going to introduce you to an owner who has truly made his childhood dream come true. Now, this cool building is both a residence and a business. It's both 170 years old and just 2 years old. It's time for you to take a look inside the Holbrook Mill.
The thing that inspires me about this building is not only the process of putting the building together, but also the fact that this is a very important cornerstone of downtown Aurora, and the fact that this jewel sets the context back into history. When the library goes in, the size and scale of this will remind people what downtown Aurora was at an earlier age. The 1871 Chicago fire, that they demanded resources of wood and stone, and we were able to provide them. In return, we were paid for those materials, and we created our own urbanism. And so we've got a lot of really nice 2, 3, 4-story buildings. We even have, Leyland Hotel is 17. And so we've got a nice diversity of tall buildings of historic scale, size, and proportion in the urban cores along the Fox River Valley. The thing that makes urbanism interesting, especially in Kane County, is the variety of the buildings that we have. And so this, with the beautiful stone of the local limestone, or it's known as Batavia limestone or Joliet limestone, this yellow limestone is distinct to Kane County. And it's really hard to work, but when it's done in all its different ways, it's a magnificent material. The adaptive reuse of this building was that we've got a mixed use of residential and commercial, and that both of those functions help to make downtown Aurora more enlivened.
I love old things. Old things are cool. It's as simple as that. It's a very short story. Every little kid wants to be a firefighter when they grow up. Some grow out of it and some don't. I got hooked and laddered, as I say, for life. And so at the age of 3 or 4, I was sort of adopted by a firefighter, and he took me under his wing and said, if you want to grow up to be big and strong and be a firefighter, you got to eat your Wheaties and do what your parents tell you. And that was very inspirational as a child. I got a call to come back to Aurora. We had a project to renovate the old Central Fire Station in Aurora and turn it into a museum. And so when I came back to be involved in that project, I realized I needed a spot to live, and I knew that I liked Aurora and I was going to be here for a while, so I wanted to put down roots in the community. The mill itself, when I first came to Aurora, I was familiar with the building and had heard stories of it being believed to be one of the oldest buildings in the county and things like that, and that was kind of cool. I never really dreamed originally that I would end up owning the building or renovating it, but certainly once I saw the place, I realized a couple things. I realized it was a worthy project that needed to be done, and I had the time and the patience and the experience and the resources, financial and otherwise, to do it. So it was just a natural fit for me and my passion. But seeing the building when I first walked in, the roof had collapsed. There was no foundation in the building. The whole place was waterlogged and rotten and molded, and the boards were all warped, and there's large gaping cracks and holes throughout the building, and you kind of tipped around and you have that sense of wonder going, oh man, should I really be in here? Is it safe? Do I need a hard hat? Where's my safety rope or whatever? And but then I was able to realize that with a little bit of love and a little bit of attention, this really was a project worthy of saving. And we actually had to demolish it. And that took a lot of wrangling on the side of my personality. Here I am, a historic preservationist, and I'm trying to save the oldest building in the county, and the only way to save it is to literally tear it down and start again. What you see around me is actually a very careful historic recreation based on the original building using much of the same materials. But it is actually a brand new building. It is not the original Holbrook Mill. I have a little bit of that firefighter in me, in that I do have a passion for the community. I do like saving things, buildings, or people as they were.
All you have to do is spend a few minutes with David, and you soon realize he became every bit the fireman the little boy in him dreamed of becoming.